Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sideshow America.
Hello.
Hopefully, we'll get more than 3 viewers on this video. I really am thinking about, I just never have time, but I'm trying to get on, which isn't that hard. I need to get on Rumble.
They won't edit us on Rumble?
Jesus.
Sorry.
Stop the ASMR.
Sorry.
So we have Mark in studio tonight, and our half Asian, her Hawaiian, whatever the hell she's feeling. She's racially fluid.
I'm white today.
She's racially fluid.
Yeah.
White today.
You're white today.
Yep.
You do not look like a white
I
woman.
got judged in my drive. I'm over being Asian. I'm white
You
today.
got judged over what?
My driving. Because Asian drivers are bad. And I know I'm a bad driver, so we're moving on from that.
Asian drivers are horrible, and so are women. You're not going to win today.
I'm not. My English teacher told me that in college.
You had an English teacher?
Yeah, they're like, you're Asian and you're a woman, so you probably suck at driving. You're not going to win. And I was like, cool, at least I admit it.
I had a trans English teacher, not a trans Asian.
Okay. Was it good at trans Asian?
No, just a trans white guy that turned into a girl. Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. Worst grade ever I got in that class.
And this thing, people, you just tune in to hear us talk about a bunch of bullshit nonsense that's really nobody's business. I'm even over here, I'm like, yeah, can we get to that point?
To the point.
And I'm not sure what the point is. We got several stories for you today. We're going to talk about, is it Sweden, Switzerland? Which one?
Sweden, Switzerland? I get them confused. It's the red one with the white
We're
cross.
so professional. Switzerland made gel people who turn heat above 66 degrees this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to talk about green energy and the epic failures. And just people are sold on this. We can rant on this all night. We're going to try to keep it down to a minimum. And we have a murder story that is going to lead into my rant because people, Americans, we need to wake up. I'm serious. We need to wake up, and we need to. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound like the leftists because I want to cancel everything and go against everything. But I just feel like maybe we got a really stupid attitude on the right. Like we don't want to be like them, but by us being like that, things keep getting worse.
So you're saying fight fire with fire on this one?
I don't know if I want to say it's fight fire with fire, but maybe it will in a fight. Okay, we're grappling. You have to react to what I'm doing. If you're not reacting, then you're opening up something else that's going to make a bigger move for you, right? So something's happening. Right. We can't just sit there and, hope we can vote it away.
Right, yeah. You can either react in a fight or you can be preemptive and strike first.
You guys are looking at me. Do not say strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Oh no, I wasn't going to follow with that. I'm just saying no. Like you can do that in a fight. You can either react to somebody punching you, or you can punch them first. Right? I mean, those are your two ways to deal with it.
That's not the philosophy I'm going for, but yeah, I mean, something's got to happen. Something's got to give. Yeah. So we're going to have our green energy discussion, our murder discussion, and then I'm going to have my rant about women. Well, no, I'm noticing a trend. I don't want to get too far ahead, but since this is a preview of what we're talking about, there's a lot of women coming up. They're tired. They're tired of being told what it is to be a woman. We'll get more into that, and I agree because I've been facing that since I've been a child. I think all of us guys have, and we'll talk about this. So
sounds good.
So, anyways, this thing with Switzerland.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So
it's pretty messed up.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of the thing in California, with Gavin Newsom. He's telling the people to turn down their air conditioners or turn them up to 78. Don't go lower than 78. And Switzerland is saying don't go higher than 66. I think it's kind of part of the energy thing, right? The green energy everyone's doing. There's not enough power. Power's getting more expensive to get. So,
Well, I think what's funny is with Gavin Newsom, I like how he, and this is probably going to be old news to everybody because like, yeah, we know. But think about this. Passing a law to what year is it where you can't have...
2035.
2035 where you cannot have gas-powered vehicles anymore. You can only have electric cars. And he had... So those of you that have not been following this, he made an announcement not to charge your cars. Was it between a certain time, or was it like during the day?
Yeah,
But
I think it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, or they extended it to 10 o'clock now because of the wildfires. So 4 to 10, they don't want you charging. They don't want you using air conditioning. They don't want you using your power that you pay a lot of money for. And mind you, California's only got like 15% of the people driving these electric vehicles. Imagine when everyone is driving one.
Well, my thing is, what happened to all the people that left California? Because half of California is gone now. So, like, you would think their grid would be be able to handle a little bit more right now. Yeah. Because like, as I talked, was the last episode where we talked about Stockton. Stockton was almost a ghost town.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are leaving.
Right, but you still got Los Angeles and San Francisco are still full of a bunch of people.
People with purple hair, purple people eater.
Purple people eaters?
Yes. But see, the same thing was happening. It was a little bit more milder, but they try to follow it, what California does in Nevada. And what was hilarious is in Nevada, they were sending texts and emails to people. Just it's an emergency,
the heat
and
wave.
they were doing the same because this heat wave that's hitting the West. And when you look at the temperatures, now I can't speak for Las Vegas. I'm just speaking for the
Las
northern
Vegas
part
is
of
always
Nevada,
hot.
because I didn't look back in. I didn't look into Las Vegas. Once you hit a certain part of the year, you're not getting under 100.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the desert, so get used to it.
But they're making a big deal about this heat wave in Nevada, like it's the end of the world. Sending out texts. There's messages on the news, and when you look at this last year, from the end of June to the beginning of August, temperatures were the same. So I don't understand what the 3 or 4 days of this heat wave was such an emergency, why it was different this last week than it was this last summer.
Yeah. Right. As someone who works outside, it's hot all the time.
And I legitimately asked several people, because I'm not trying to be a smartass, because sometimes, right, let's be honest, this is one reason why we bug leftists. They just jump in and talk about shit. It's like, hey, there's a reason for this. So I don't want to be like that. But there's several different sources I try to look up, several people I try to ask, well, is there something that we're not aware of that we should be aware of that's so different about this heat wave for 3 or 4 days than the heat wave we had for over a month? Is there a reason why we should be worried about this one? And everyone's like,
Yeah, right. I don't think people know, but they have been sending the texts out to Nevadans as well, to not run your power at a certain time because it causes a strain on our power grid.
And then they send an emergency service on your phone.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Yep.
They also send it on Alexa.
Really?
Yep. Every day to let you know, there's a national advisory, the heat wave.
And you watch all these newscasts. The other night I watched all these newscasts about all these kids are interviewing all these teenagers working in the Target parking lot about what to do during a heat wave, and it's really hot, have lots of water. And I'm just like, this is the problem right now with our culture and our country. We've taken away hunting. We don't know what, no one really hunts anymore. There's the good old boys hunt, and there's lots of people listening to this. They're like, I hunt. Hey, man. Well, you probably have like 1% of the population. I don't know. It might be more than that. I'm just throwing shit off the top of my head. But let's be honest. It's not 50% of the population's hunting.
No, not even close to that.
We took away real men. We don't even know what men and women are anymore. Now we're just like, oh my God, it's hot.
Oh yeah, well see, and that's kind of, people become complacent. We've been comfortable for far too long. Like if you drive around with your air conditioner all the time, you can get out and it's 70 degrees and you're crying because it's too hot. There's something. We all have to be super comfortable. You know what I'm talking about.
Do you do that? Are you one of these people we're talking about?
What? You are. I don't complain.
You are from a hippie.
What?
A hippie city.
So what?
And you do, like, when you get out and it's like, it's 85. You get outside your car.
Okay, but you gotta realize I grew up in the rain.
Right, but
our summers didn't get above 65.
But once you get used to a certain comfortableness, like you don't step out of that zone. And if you're uncomfortable for a tiny second, usually people complain about it.
No, they don't just complain. It's the end of the world.
It's a heat wave, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't complain. It's like being comfortable while you're driving. So yeah, I drive with my AC on all the time.
Right. Again, yes, we like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
We like to go to the grocery store and buy our meat, not go out there and shoot it and skin it and gut it.
No, that make me nauseous.
Huh?
Because you're comfortable. That's the point.
No, because I can't see blood. Blood makes me nauseous.
But you're Asian, so you ought to be good cleaning fish.
Yes.
And cats.
No. Fish, yes. Cats, no.
Dogs.
No.
Squid.
Ew.
Well, fish and squid. Come on.
Yeah.
Those are two different
You don't
things.
eat eel?
No, I grew up like with salmon and stuff. Salmon and trout.
Like a bear.
That's a rich man's food.
Yeah.
Hey, my dad caught it all.
See? Comfort. My dad did it.
Yeah, because I wasn't allowed to go.
Did you clean it?
Huh?
Did you clean them for him?
Yeah, when he got home. But it's like at a certain age, I wasn't allowed to go.
You know
Only
what?
the boys could
I've
go fishing, and then I had
underestimated
to clean stuff at home.
You are a real woman because that's...
I had to stay home and clean everything. I know.
That's the way it is.
I
Go out and
know. I
hunt
wasn't
and
allowed to
fish
go.
And have the women at home, like, you know...
Reminds me of the 50s.
We're 40s. 50s started breaking apart. It started...
They let them vote, you know.
Hey, man, let's not get off track here. But
Sorry.
I actually did a study on when women started getting voting rights. They didn't want it because there's a lot of responsibilities that came with voting, and then women were like, "No, you guys go have fun." That's another issue for another time.
Okay.
But there's a lot of lies the feminists give and the left give about how horrible and oppressed everything and everybody was, but the responsibilities that came with voting. Anyways, that's we're going to be getting way off subject here because we're talking about this green energy thing that I think is going to bring the end of the world because you watch because it's going to give them because I think COVID was an experiment. I think COVID experiment. What can we get people to do? What can we have citizens comply? Because now that that's over with, they're constantly pushing the transgender and racial thing, and they're really pushing this climate change thing. And you have the cultists. You just go out across social media or talk to people out on the street. Well, don't talk to them on the street, but I get around a lot. I came around lots of different people all the time and talk to different people, and but just everyone this heat wave, man. I've heard this several times. Climate change is getting the better of us.
Just ask John Kerry.
That's how they're going to enforce and make certain things happen. You're going to have to do this because this is what's happening, and that's why I'm curious. Before I accuse the government of messing around with us again, turn up your AC.
Well,
it's the COVID thing.
Yeah.
They're testing to see, they're gauging to see what can we get you guys to do. And from what I understand, there was a program you sign up for in California, right? It's like an energy saving program, and they have access to your thermostat, through the network, and they actually can raise it up to what they want it to and keep it there.
So it's like Walmart. Walmart actually has that same thing there. Their main office in Bentonville, every thermostat in the Walmarts across the world are set to that thermostat, which is down south, so it's pretty hot there. So they have the AC on. So up in Nevada, when it's colder, they'll have the AC on the same as it would be in Arkansas because it's all controlled from their central agency.
Yes, that's what it's like.
Man, I wish we had that because the last place I worked at, I'm not going to name because I don't want to talk bad or anything, but it's like they wouldn't put the AC on during the summer because they want to save a couple pennies, so it's fucking hot as hell. And they're like, oh, well, we have to save money this summer, because we're not matching our sales from last year. I was like, are you shitting me right now?
No, wait. Was that this last summer? Huh. So they weren't matching their sales. Again, this inflation thing. Another segment for another time.
I won't say where, but
and the reason why I'm curious about that because I keep trying to follow everybody about this inflation thing, and I can't believe it's not breaking people yet. Anyways, let's not get off on that. But I just wanted to hear you.
Give it time.
Yeah,
because I used to check numbers every week, and they're so down from last year. We were so high up because of COVID and everything, and now that freak out, the hoarding, and all that storage stuff is over. Oh, our sales are so down.
Okay, so let me ask you, and we still want to talk about climate change, so let's not get too far off it. But I think other listeners would be curious about this. So I don't know how long you were at this place. Would you say that there's a normal amount of sales? You have some years events happen, sales go up. Other year it goes down, but there's a normal range. Would you say they were down this year because just what you said, everything because of COVID, or was it down really far where, hey, even though COVID's over with, it should still hit about here? The reason why I'm asking is because keeping track of inflation in the economy and seeing how this affects some of these big chain stores. Because it's not fair to say that sales were down when it's like, well, yeah, but last year there's an event where, everybody that never shops at this place, now all of a sudden they're shopping there,
Well, and oddly enough, I was only checking my department, and mine was electronics. So it's like, I was surprised it was even high during COVID. 'Cause it's like, who the hell was out buying fucking TVs during COVID?
Because they got checks. Because people could get stuff they couldn't get before.
And so that's what happened. And so then now this year, we're down, I want to say more than normal, because it usually varies between like 5 to 10%. But once we get into 20% and stuff like that, it's like, okay, was it because of COVID or really down from our normal?
Well, they say that everyone's just 2 days away from crime. If you go 2 days without food, you're able to go to the street, or you're more likely to go to the streets and start robbing people and robbing stores.
Oh, people used to try and steal from that place all the time.
Yeah, back to your
back to saving energy.
Because of the energy.
This was about saving energy.
Well, this is about energy too. Like with them trying to save all the energy, like it's screwing it. You can't save the energy. You can't just have the green energy. You have to have all the different kinds of energy.
Well, you were talking about something earlier, and I wanted to, if you could even give the sources to, are you talking about what it would take to get everything green as far as car batteries?
Oh, just the car batteries. Yeah.
Now, when you say car batteries, just to be clear, we're talking about electric
car batteries. Just the electric.
Fully electric.
Yes, the 1,000-pound batteries that are in the electric cars.
Okay.
Yeah. They say, from the Manhattan Institute, they say extracting and processing around 500,000 pounds of materials for one battery. And they have to be extracted from the old ways, like with the old power we had. Not green energy, not windmills and solar energy, but coal. Coal is one of the ways we extract this stuff. So we still need to burn the fossil fuels to do these things. And there's just, I don't know, there's not enough earth to make everyone in the world have a green car. It's just stupid. Like it's all right as supplemental. I forget who was saying it, but they said, look at it like a bodybuilder. When you're eating your food, you don't just eat vegetables. You have your vegetables, you have your meats, you have your pastas, you have just the different foods you eat to keep your body going. If you look at somebody who only eats veggies all the time, they're not a very healthy person. If you look at someone who just eats meat all the time, they're not very healthy. You got to have a balance of it. And I can see electric, like the green energy, working as a supplement, to supplement the fossil fuels we have. But you can't just go all the way to it. I mean, it took like 40 years to go from coal to natural gas, like over 40 years, I think it was. So we can't just hit a switch and have everyone driving electric cars. It's just not possible.
You know what the answer is, and when you say this, people are going to freak out.
What's the answer?
Nuclear energy.
Yeah, nuclear energy. It's not as evil that's one of the cleanest.
It's a leftist lie when they make out how dangerous.
Oh no, that's the cleanest energy there. And they just found out a way that the problem they had before was the nuclear waste. Now the scientists made a battery that runs off of nuclear waste. As the nuclear material breaks down, it fuels the battery more. So nuclear. I'll have to put a link in that in the comments. But no, they've come a long way with nuclear energy.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
because you listen.
Live in my bubble and watch my shows.
You're in your bubble and you just listen to people that don't know what they're talking about talk.
And I listen to people talk.
Well, no, but what I mean though, okay,
you're listening to me right now.
Oh,
what I'm saying though is your average American or average person, and I was there with Trump. You're playing at a bar. You hear everyone's got a rant about Trump. You don't know what's going on. You live in your own bubble. And, this must be an evil guy. Turn on the news. Must be an evil guy. You're walking through Walmart shopping. Someone's joking about Trump. Oh, yeah, I can't wait till he's out of office. So you just kind of, this must be a horrible person. Then you start doing research and you're like, what the hell are we all talking about? It's kind of like that. Like you hear how horrible nuclear energy is. Ninja Turtles. Nuclear.
Right.
So,
right. It's all just not true.
And remember Simpsons and how evil nuclear energy was and the three-eyed
Mr.
fish,
Burns.
And there has been some mishaps with nuclear energy, but then again, that was
you talking about primitive. Russia?
Yeah, I think it was Ukraine, wasn't it? It was a town in Ukraine,
Chernobyl,
I think. So there's this misconception. It's this the end of the world.
Yeah, well,
if you use nuclear energy,
and that's if you don't do it right. Look at France. I think France has 3 nuclear energy power plants, but they're all built by the same company. And this company, that's all they do. It's kind of like an oncologist. All that guy deals with is cancer, so he knows his shit. It's the same with the French. They know about nuclear power. Like, I think here in America, we have different companies building different plants. So I think that might, if you had the same company doing it, it could probably take some danger out of the equation if you get someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
At least that's my thought.
So the rule is go green, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Green.
Well, I think my next rant too, though, is
green nuclear. Go green nuclear.
What's funny, and this is the idiots. Yes, I said idiots that we gotta stop burning fossil fuels and go green.
Yeah, you can.
The green cars we have. The point of this conversation is in California. They told you not to charge the green cars because it's a strain on the power grid, which is powered by
green energy.
Green energy or fossil fuels?
Oh, well, right now,
I mean,
they're trying to switch completely over to green energy. They still use some fossil fuels, but that's part of the problem. By relying only on green energy, it's not enough. There's not enough. I mean, in California, they have a 350 square mile solar energy field that powers like 100,000 homes.
No, wait, give those numbers again.
A 350 square mile solar panel field that powers 100,000 homes. That's it. 100,000 homes. While PG&E, with their natural gas, they power 16 million homes. So obviously we can see it's inefficient. Green energy is very inefficient. That's why I say it'd make a good supplemental energy. But there's no way you can run the whole world on that shit. No way at all. I mean, what about our military? What about jets? Can you run a jet?
Solar powered jet.
Right?
I mean, I'm not.
I mean, obviously we can't. Look at John Kerry. He doesn't have any solar powers on his jet. Al Gore doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. There's no wind turbines. They have actual engines.
Maybe that's what they need the aborted fetuses for.
Oh, no, that's for the youthful skin.
What?
So you're looking at me like,
you don't drink the aborted babies?
Well, because it's funny. I have this discussion.
Oh my goodness.
We've already talked about this on the show, but I'll say this again because in case we got new viewers listening or in case somebody missed it. But we make a joke in here that I don't know if it's a joke anymore.
One of them jokes that's kind of serious at the same time. That makes it funny.
There's this conspiracy theory that when it comes to aborted fetuses, that they're using them for something. And I'm like, no.
Stem cell research.
But now I have a different attitude because there's this argument. And see, again, feminists are not fighting this. This is why I think feminists are full of shit. They're like the tough guy that can't back it up. And any feminists listening to this, listen, honey, I'm on your side, and you're not backing it up. You're not backing up. You're just a shit-talking hoe. Because I know, that sounds mean, huh? Because let me tell you something. No, I have yet to see an argument. Okay, you can go get an abortion. And just this last spring, they were fighting. See, no one knows about the trucker rally that was fighting in California to make sure a law did not get passed where it would allow you to once you gave birth, you could let your baby starve or die 10 days after
was it 10 or 14?
Might have been 14.
I think it was 14.
They were trying to push it longer than that, but it just...
It's both.
But was it just let it starve and die, or was it you could abort your baby however you wanted to within those days?
However you want, like flush down the toilet?
But you know what I mean?
Well, either way, what's the point? I mean, either way, you're a murderer.
But yeah, but that's what I
at
mean.
that point, it's no longer abortion. Like I'll let the people up for abortion have their term. Okay,
we'll
fine,
pretend.
fine. But once it's out, so anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was
sorry.
Got distracted. So anyways, so you can they're fighting for that, right? And so, you can be trans, you can be in your teen years, you can be in your 20s, and you can get your uterus taken out. And there's been several people boasting where they have their uterus in jars after it's been removed. Okay, now everyone's fighting and arguing over birth control, abortion, both sides, left and right. Okay, nobody is like pissed off that like if you're trans, you can get your uterus removed, but a woman can't get her tubes tied.
It's like, but if I'm straight, then I can't get my tubes tied if I don't have a kid.
And no one is fighting about this or arguing about this. Nobody's getting mad about this. Nobody wants to bring this up and talk about it. The left or the right. Nobody does. I mean, even Christians that are, fighting so there's no more abortions, they're not bringing this up either. And the leftists, like, hey, here's a happy medium. You guys don't like it. We want it. How about this? No one's arguing. So that's why I'm like, no, they want. I'm sorry. It makes sense. They want the aborted fetuses. I no longer.
I'm sorry. I wasn't joking when I said it. I mean, it's something. It's real. I mean, stem cell research too comes from the aborted fetuses. Yeah. I mean, look at
vaccines.
Look at kids. I know
That's what they made the vaccine out of?
Yeah. That was part aborted fetus.
That and what's that mineral?
Oh, that magnetic stuff, right?
Oh man, it multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. Yeah. Gosh, graphene. If you do a study on that is what you're being injected with. This is not a conspiracy theory. YouTube, before you remove us, that is one of the ingredients. People, just do research on that.
It's almost like that shit in the
Just do research on it.
And that's disgusting.
It's like something from a Marvel comic.
Yeah. You ever seen Carnage or Venom? It's
oh, geez, you are in a bubble.
I saw
but you're Asian.
I know. I watched Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, well.
That's Asian.
And you know math.
Oh.
Yeah, I know math.
There you go.
And I do nails.
Plays the violin.
You do nails?
Yeah. Not in my case, am I?
Wow. And you feel white today? What have you done that's white today?
Did you get a Starbucks on the way here?
No, I didn't get Starbucks today, okay?
You would get Dutch Bros instead?
No, I had 3 Red Bulls.
There you go.
That's pretty white.
That's a white thing. Asians don't drink that crap.
No, 3 Red Bulls.
I want to have 3.
What, 3 Asians, 3 Red Bulls?
Yeah, both.
Oh my God.
Yeah, white
do
shoes.
You know how high maintenance those women are?
Yeah.
Hey.
You better get like a...
I don't know if I'd be trying to keep them.
Oh, just...
They'd be like the Red Bull.
Just get what you need and that's it.
Friends.
Just friends.
Just friends.
Oh my God.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. His wife's listening.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You got it.
Now, actually, you're racist. You want someone to cut your lawn. Those aren't Asians. Those are Mexicans.
Right.
Okay, that's what he's talking about. I got
No,
your back.
I need help with math, though, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sushi. Do you make sushi? Mm-hmm. Oops. Sold.
Really? What do you mean sold?
My grandma taught me to make sushi. And spam
I said the wife is listening.
No. You didn't hear that part.
Okay, I did.
No.
So on to other stories. We got something here. Another rant from Miss Half Asian over here. So there's a story. I was trying to follow it, and you kept sending me stuff, and I just couldn't keep up with it because I've been busy and I haven't meant to be rude, not respond. And
no, it's fine. I guess I've only kept up with it because that's from my hometown. And so everybody that I went to high school with is posting about it and reposting about it. But long story short, 16-year-old kid went missing for 2 days, was found, and then the next day arrested for burglary and murder. And then the day after that, someone, I'm assuming in the family or something, started a GoFundMe to raise money for his legal bills. Within the first 24 hours, they raised over $20,000. Wow. Like, who... I guess that doesn't make sense to me because it's like, who's willing to put money into something when somebody's on trial for murder?
Well, to go deeper than that, because I vaguely read the story, and then whenever I see you here, you kind of tell me some stuff. So it sounds like to me this was, it sounds like he's guilty. I know there's no judge or jury right now, right? But it doesn't look good.
No.
And the point I wanted to make out that I was trying to show in this story is the insanity in this country, people's thinking, because we had Kyle Rittenhouse, that he had his GoFundMe. It was GoFundMe, right?
Yeah, the one they tore down, they took down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they took that down, and the way the people were about it, how vicious and mean people were. And so those of you that don't know what this story is with Kyle Rittenhouse, and you're giving me a look like, what the hell are you talking about?
Sorry.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, this is one of the big things that happened, man.
I told you I live in a bubble.
Do you know what was going on in the world the last 2 years?
No, I worked a lot.
Or you were tore up or something. I don't know.
Just a little. It's still on top. I just want to bring up the point that George Floyd raised over $15 million on his GoFundMe account. You remember the guy that pointed the gun at the baby inside the mom, and yeah, 15 million. They didn't shut him down. Just saying.
This is
out there.
Well, this is where I'm going. That in our country right now, we have this thing where we don't know where good is, what good is, or what evil is. We have no idea what we're dealing with. We have youth feeling bad for the criminal because the world's against the criminal. You know what I'm talking about? Did you ever go through that stage when you were younger where you thought you were
oppressed?
Oppressed. And
when I was committing crime when I was younger, I had that attitude. Sorry, go on.
Committing crime would that be like?
Just stupid kid stuff. Shoplifting, smoking weed back when it was illegal. Just things like that. Assaults, batteries, mayhems. Just all the kid stuff.
All the kid stuff.
That kid stuff. Every kid goes through that.
Cocaine,
That's
meth.
kid stuff?
Yeah.
How's that kid stuff?
The fun day. Well, when you're young, you experiment. You do shit like that. Well, you're Asian, okay? White people do that.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Black people do that. Sicilians do that. Many people do
went to
that.
practice, and that's all I did.
Right, and you studied your math. You played your violin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the rest of us were doing drugs.
She was an Asian in a white man's world, which means she played innocent. She got into some shit.
But she
didn't.
She just pretended.
Whatever.
As long as you do your homework, they don't care. Don't ask, don't tell.
Why are you pregnant?
Hey, I'm not the one that got kids. That's my siblings, okay?
You did it right.
Yep. But back to the story, though, okay? What I don't give the whole GoFundMe thing is that in one of the articles, it was saying that he told his dad that the person that got murdered, his biker buddies threatened him to go steal stuff from the house, and he admitted to doing what fucking happened. And people still put money towards this GoFundMe to his legal bills and whatnot.
Well, that's the point that's coming. That I want to make a point that's happening in the country. The criminal is starting to become the hero.
Oh, yeah.
When you have a working man or a mother or someone that is straight, white, and is sure of what gender or sex they are the criminal. They are the oppressors. And the reason why I want to bring up this story is just the insanity that, Kyle Rittenhouse, what happened to him. And there was a lot of people that said he deserved it. He deserved not to get the money. He deserved to have it taken down. He deserves to be in prison. And some people say he should get the death penalty.
For self-defense.
And so this story is just a quick recap, because there's probably, might be some people like, what are you talking about? Kyle Rittenhouse, and this is just my fast summary. There's a lot more information to this. And you can help correct some of the facts, because this guy over here is like a walking dictionary. This is kind of my view of it. He was defending kind of like an area that was under riot.
Yeah.
Okay. He went to go clean some of the walls, put out some of the fires.
Yeah, but it was in a town he didn't live in. It was like
they got all that fixed and straightened out.
Okay.
He didn't cross with that gun supposedly.
Okay.
Now, I mean, people can correct me on this, because I know there's a lot of facts going back and forth. Once the whole thing was over, there's a lot of stuff that they said was not true at the end of the trial.
Yeah. He went there to help. He went to help.
And he got attacked. He was armed. And a lot of people were saying, why did he go there armed? I tell you what, you go into a war zone, because that's what it was.
Yep.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a war zone, because they were setting fires to dealerships.
Right. It wasn't a peaceful protest.
They had guns too. They had guns. They're beating the crap out of people, tearing up buildings,
Yeah, it was a war zone.
setting
It was a
fires.
riot. Middle of a riot, pretty much.
And so he got attacked, and he defended himself. You can look it up because he got hit in the head with the skateboard, right? Now, refresh my memory. Was there a gun pointed at him?
Yeah, I think he
and
was,
that's the guy. Is that the guy he killed, or is that the guy he shot the arm and the arm?
I think that was the one he killed.
Okay.
But again, I'll have to look for the facts on that. But basically, yeah, he defended himself with his weapon, and he was just self-defense.
And these people he shot, one of them he shot was released. That was a child rapist. Am I correct on that one? On that fact? So you double check me because there's been so many things happen since then. So I apologize to the audience. I followed that story like crazy, but there's been a lot of things happen. I mean, the last 2 years. I mean that's what they want. They want our minds so divided all over the place that you don't know what's going on. But anyways, long story short, you had a guy that was over there trying to take care of the neighborhood and the city, and you had a bunch of people there because some of these rioters, they didn't live in these places. They would get in buses and they would drop these people off and they'd go protest and riot.
Yeah.
That's what happened in our hometown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Down south. Yeah. So people, I don't like giving our location. Down south, there was a protest.
They were bussed in.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I heard about that protest, but I just kind of...
Even in Reno, Nevada, because they had a big riot and protest there, and that never made the news. People ended up in the hospital. A few people ended up almost killed. Most of those people that were arrested were not from here. Okay.
Why do they do that?
So
to start shit.
Why?
Because
they're oppressed. They're black, and some ancestor they had was a slave. That's why. Because there's white privilege. Okay, evidently us white people are the wealthiest things on the planet. I don't know. I'm still struggling. How about you over there?
Every day.
But see, they try to pull you Asians into it. Remember the whole summer?
Oh, the Asian hate.
I started getting alerts on my phone about that.
But you know who was doing it was BLM. They were going in neighborhoods, and that's when they shut up because there's something wrong with the narrative. All the cell phone video, all the live stream. There's a problem with this Asian hate. It's all black kids going into the neighborhood beating up old Asian ladies.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they had to be quiet because they're like, well,
goes against
they're trying to make out like, this evil white man. Well, you got these black kids that are 14 years old going in and beating up these Asian, these old Asian couples.
Yeah. It was sad.
So yeah, I think they do that kind of stuff to divide the people. I mean, go back to
it works. I hate to say it, it works.
Go back to the slave times. All right. You tell the house slaves you're better than the yard slaves. You tell the yard slaves you're better than the field slaves. Then once they're freed, you tell the light-skinned ones you're better than the dark-skinned ones. It's been going on forever. That was from Ben Carson, actually. He had brought that up, and it's true. That's how when you're outnumbered by the people you run, you have to cause conflict and separate them so it's easier to control.
That's brilliant what you just said because we do outnumber them.
Yeah.
About, what would you say, 1,000 to 1?
Oh, easy. I mean, if not more than that.
And if you can get them to and see, they're taking away our education. Mm-hmm. They're taking away our brilliance. They're taking away, and there's a thought I had today. This is how stupid we are now. Just bear with me. We're getting off the segment a little bit here because we're trying to talk about GoFundMe. Okay, but this is going to make sense. Okay, you look at music 500 years ago, even in the 80s, 70s, 80s. Okay, right. Very complicated. If you think about the music in the 80s. The singers they had in rock, along with those guitar solos, the way stuff was written, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the transitions, were complicated. Mm-hmm. Correct? Right. You look at Mozart, very complicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a 6-year-old.
The movies and acting was a little bit more complex. Comedy was a little bit more complex. Cartoons started getting really complex. Then, if you notice, late 90s, early 2000s, we start having this stupid cartoons, right? These simple 3 or 4 color animation.
Yep.
Then you start having, I don't want to say these are bad singers, but let's be honest, their range isn't that impressive. The music is very monotone. So everything is being dumbed down more and more. And actually, and it goes along with our education. Our education is being dumbed down so far.
Yeah, nobody gets left behind.
No idiot left behind.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Bush put that one into play.
Then nobody gets left behind thing.
They
It's
want
like, hey,
us,
keep scooching along.
They want us stupid. They want us thinking we're oppressed, like we're the good guys. All of us are supposed to be oppressed, because that way they're going to save us. That's how they're going to bring in this green energy deal. That's how they're going to bring in the socialist. Because I was watching this video. Gosh, I gotta do a commentary on it. I cannot remember the professor's name. It was actually, gosh, it was just a brilliant, horribly done. It was with a professor that teaches Marxism. And one of the things he said, he opened up with, why should everybody suffer? Okay, so he was talking about champions and people that make lots of money because they're able to make things happen, because their brains are functioning better. They have more intelligence. And he said, why should other people suffer because you have an ambition or a gift or an intelligence that other people cannot come up to? And that's what he was trying to teach was not fair with our society. That's why everyone should be equal. And that's one of the reasons why he stuck up for communism. And the thing is that's stupid about that. And the reason why I mention that is because that's why they want us dumbed down. That's why they want us stupid. Because we have to come down to the Down syndrome level. I know that offends a lot of people. I've worked in that field for 20 years. And anything that's above what a Down syndrome individual can do is the enemy. And people will argue this with me. No, I've done it for 20 years. I'm an expert in this field. The parent gets mad and upset because the person with Down syndrome is not invited to birthday parties. Now, I'm a fan of people with cerebral palsy and Down syndrome. They're my buddies. But I get why some people are like, this is going to be very stressful without adding an individual that's shitting himself and running off showing his weenie to these kids. Because that does happen. That does happen. I used to work with kids with autism or adults with autism that would pull it out and show it. Yeah. 50 years old, showing it to kids. And the thing is, he doesn't mean anything by it. This individual did not mean anything by it. He was not attracted to children. He was innocent, but at the same time, it's horrifying everybody. Right. So everybody has to suffer because this person doesn't control herself. Now, I'm not saying this person needs to be, admonished or thrown to the wolves or suffer, but the parents has to understand, hey, we can't have 50 people suffering because you can't keep your weenie in your pants.
Right. Well, sorry, I can continue. I just my youngest daughter's in elementary, and back when I was younger, we used to get grades. There was A, B, C, D, F, that you could get in school, and now for the past 10 or 15 years, it's been a number system where the child gets a 1, 2, 3, or a 4. Well, our daughter's not the smartest kid, but she's pretty bright. All right. And she always got 3s, on her paper. And I'm asking the teacher, well, what's she doing wrong? Why isn't she getting the 4? Oh, we don't give out 4s because the kids in class would feel upset because they don't have 4s.
Wait, what?
No, that's how it works now. Is we're dumbing down our kids. So I'm totally with you on that. They're dumbing down everything. Everything is done. You don't even get a grade. And you don't want to give it to her because this kid would feel bad. He didn't get it. What the hell?
What? And here's how it breaks down. Because we're dumbing down these kids. They've dumbed us down. I mean, there's no telling what we could be. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. And then we dumb down our kids because then our kids go through this dumb, and then now these next kids. Because you ever see these parents that are upset because their kids didn't get first place, or they have a coach that's rough on them? They don't like little Tommy yelled at. Well, little Tommy was supposed to catch the ball and get his finger out of his ass. So,
well, and the thing is that with the whole grade system and whatnot, it's like that should really start with, I know the whole conversation on college is a different topic, but when I was going to school for teaching, for our tests and everything, it was a pass or fail thing. You never had an actual grade. If you got above 80%, you got a green light to go.
Yeah, which
we didn't know what a lot of college. I don't know what I got for as a grade. I never got a grade for anything.
See, college is graded like that. They do a lot of college classes the same way. You can do the grade one, or if you're not doing too well, you can opt for the pass-fail option.
Yeah, that's what I was like. If you're above 80%, then you pass. I don't know what the hell I got, but hey, I passed all my classes. Did I remember anything? No, but I passed them.
Yeah, you could have passed it with an F. You could have got 50% and still passed.
I missed out.
And that's getting my degree for teaching elementary school and special education.
That's because they're training you to indoctrinate children.
It's starting there.
Exactly.
Starting there.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. I'm gonna be before I continue with my point. I'm gonna rant on teachers, and if I have teachers listen to me, prove me wrong. I don't like teachers. I never have liked teachers. The Phil I just told you that I worked in for 20 years, the teachers or the parents that were the teachers were the worst. The teachers I worked with were the worst. They had no clue what was going on. And then they would complain how poor they were, making $65,000 a year, and we don't get paid for our time off. Well, you're laughing because you're like, well, you could go to work somewhere else for $20,000 a year and never get paid vacation or benefits or anything. If you would like, if you really want to think you're oppressed, and this is part of this is what's dumbing us down. We're having these conversations with people. They're sitting there saying how poor they are, and it's like, dude, you're making as much or more than half the population. Yeah. There's a lot of people out there making between $20,000 and $30,000 that got to work 2 jobs. They're never going to have vacations for the next 4 or 5 years.
Right, you're making more than a police officer at that point.
Well, exactly. You know. So the thing with this Marxist that I was wanting to point out is, he's saying how, you shouldn't have to suffer because somebody has ambitions and can make things happen. But I found I wanted to go slap this guy and be like, and he was so sincere on his interview, and I want to be like, are you listening to yourself? Because let me tell you something, he's right. The bad thing is, it goes both ways. Why should we suffer because you can't function? Why should 50 people in the room suffer because you can't function? Why? How is it? What problem are you solving by saying that? It's such a demonic deception. It's just the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I don't know. I was always taught life isn't fair growing up.
Yep.
That was just part of what we were taught back in the day. Like you didn't get a trophy just because you participated. Mm-mm. You had to win to get the trophy. You weren't rewarded just for being there. It was a different time though. I'm feeling old now, so.
You feeling old?
Yeah.
God. I feel old in my school right now. Everyone around me is fucking 18, 19. I'm like, get away from me.
And this leads us to our final thought segment, which is will take a little bit longer still. So like final thought, not like a 5-minute final thought. But the fall of children, what is true, comes from the fall of family. So tonight I'm gonna pick on women. Because one thing I've noticed, I don't know if you guys are seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of Republican women rising that are doing what women should have been doing the last couple hundred years. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, if you've been following it. Because Here's the thing. I think we're coming to a time in our life where we're tired of the feminism and tired of the lies. We told women a lie that you don't have to stay at home. You can go, and instead of serving your man at home, you can serve a man on the job. There was the movement, was it in the 50s? It could have been the 40s. When women started working, they started working, like I say, like places like Swanson's, where they're making, the microwave meals, the meals you prepare.
Oh, Schwann's.
Schwann's. No, I think it's Swanson's, I think Schwann's is...
They're like the frozen food truck.
Not the frozen food truck, like the...
Well, like they give you...
The Hungry Man meals.
Yeah, like you order them from Schwann's. I think Swanson, I think, is TV dinners too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the TV dinners. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. So instead of cooking for one man and your children, right, you're cooking for how many thousands of people now, in a uniform. Okay, I see you're laughing. You're laughing.
You're a woman.
What?
Okay, so this liberation. Okay, I think women are getting tired of this. I want to do this segment because if there's young ladies out there, women that are getting tired of this, I want them to know that they're right. I think women are getting tired of the apps. I think they're getting tired of one night stands and lays because women are different than men. Mm-hmm. Men can mess around and get away with it. Women can't. And sorry, men and women are different. Men and women are completely different.
Yeah.
And people can fight. This is why I want this woman on the show tonight.
What?
Because I want a woman to argue with me. I really don't have you on here to argue with me. People that don't know this lady, and I don't mean this in a bad way toward you. You're a wonderful person. You're wild. We have completely different ideas of life. I think as you're getting older, I've known you for a couple of years, I think you're probably leaning more conservative, if I had to say it. But you have stories, man. I mean, I'm not trying to like tell people on you, but we have completely different opposing views on stuff. That's why I wanted you on here, because there's stuff I wanted to mention. And I work with you, and I've seen you grow as a person.
Thanks.
I have. No, like seriously, you were completely different than when I first knew you.
3 years ago.
You are completely different. Diversity, Asians and whites.
So you got yourself an Asian on the show now.
But I'm white today.
But I think women are tired of being told what a woman is. Being told, when you have a woman come in half naked, right? You mention or say something. What do they do? How do they react to you?
That depends on what you say.
If you say, honey, do you have to wear that? Are you trying to control me? Are you trying to own me? Biology dictates what happens in my head when I see curves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's out of my control. Now, it's within my control how I react. I can look the other way. I can recognize you're a hoe and go the other way. Or I can be like, you want some? Because I want some.
Yeah, okay? That's usually what happens.
Women say it's bullshit when a man says that. But a woman's the same way. How do you feel about nice pecs and abs?
You know how you feel about it.
You're trying to play innocent.
What?
No, hey, I say this to
You're
my wife.
going to tell me about pecs and abs,
no,
bro?
I'm just going to... I've told my wife the same thing before, because she listens to this country guy. God, I can't remember his name, but he sucks.
Which one?
I don't know, but he's a good-looking dude that has pecs and abs. And that's why Kane Brown. Kane Brown. Yeah.
Look at the grin on your face.
Yep. See, he's half black, half Native American. And
what is that? What is
all he does is perform without his shirt. But his music sucks. But women love him because he's got the abs and the pecs. It's right there.
It's like watching Magic Mike.
Right. They're horrible actors, but they're half-naked guys that are in good shape.
But see, us men are smarter because women have to have, that's a good story. Just get us a porno. She's hot. Just do it. See, women that's the difference between men and women.
What?
That's the difference between men and women. You can buy a Playboy DVD. The girl comes out in a G-string and takes it off and just sits there, and we're happy. Yeah. You women have to have a story.
Yes.
With a bad actor, with the guy that's probably going to give you AIDS's.
Multiple.
With a guy that's going to use you after he knocks you up. See us, we just, we're happy.
Very simple.
Get us a warm washcloth and a dark room and a good Asian DVD, and we're fine.
I guess nowadays you just need a cell phone, really.
Yeah, cell phone. There you go. Make sure.
A good Asian cell phone.
Anyway, we're getting way off topic here.
Aren't all cell phones kind of Asian?
I'm saying I think women are getting sick of the narrative. Yeah. I really want to know like you as a lady, okay?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of how to. Family homes break.
Yes.
It destroys kids. Kids feel lost. There's a lot of women that don't mind being used. I think this is from the fall of the family. Because you're being passed from home to home. I'm a big believer, what you meditate on, you become. If this is what you're doing from the time you're 8 years old, and I'm not knocking because you've been divorced, I've been divorced, you come from a divorced family, but it's also up to us mature people to be like, hey, there's a problem. We need to start getting the word out, right? I mean, actually, no, were you divorced? I'm wrong on that.
I always joke with the wife about the first one, but we'll leave that a mystery.
Okay, because I'm not sure. I'm assuming, but I never really.
No, but I'm a child of divorce. My parents were divorced growing up.
Okay, because I'm not sure if you were. Okay, so
I got divorced
but she was.
I grew up.
Okay, so I'm just saying this. I'm not beating down anybody, but we're all asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
I really think and I think it's teaching young girls, because these girls are lost. Women are lost. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. They're lost. They have one-night stands. And the reason why I'm picking on women right now is because they're the ones suffering. I don't think they're happy. I watch these feminists that are bitching about abortion, that are bitching about all their rights, and they're angry. They're not happy. We're teaching something wrong to young ladies. I mean, I think we've been teaching stuff to young men wrong. As men, we can I think we can all identify with that. But one thing I've noticed, you have movements with Jordan Peterson, right? And there's a lot of great men rising up right now saying what a man is supposed to do, which is awesome. No one's doing that with women. Well, there's not a single person doing this with women.
I like you mentioned Jordan Peterson. You know, I just watched a little snippet on him. He was saying, you know, that's the lie women have been told, is that, you know, living for your job is the greatest thing you'll do. He said, no, having your baby is the greatest thing you'll do in your life. That is the greatest thing, the greatest accomplishment you will ever do is having your child and passing on.
I'll never have a great accomplishment then.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
He was just saying that you can't a career versus a family, like, you know.
If you're a woman with 6 kids and you're still living in this narrative and this illusion of what you can achieve, you're already there achieving something. Mm-hmm. You're being led. I hate to say this metaphorically because I do have a problem with religious stuff, but you're being led by a demonic, devilish illusion of you gotta achieve more, you gotta achieve more, you gotta achieve more. Hey, you know, cooking takes a long time. Taking care of kids, changing their diapers takes a long time. This is you're raising the next generation to be intelligent. That's what this whole episode's about. We're being dumbed down because we took women out of the home. We told them you're better off having one-night stands. You're better off without a man telling you what to do. And I'm not saying stay in a relationship with a cruel man. That's not what I mean. Because let me give you an example. So for women that would get mad at me, like, oh yeah, let me give you an example. A woman, okay.
Are you using me?
Yep.
Okay.
Wants to do something. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start with men and women here, and you can tell me what your experiences are. Okay. So for example, when I first started my career, I always, I had to go and train. I had to go do shows and go do performances. My wife always used to tell me, previous wife, I'm not, just so the listeners, like, I'm not with this woman anymore. She used to get mad. She used to get upset. We used to argue about it. She was not supportive about anything I would do at all. However, she would want to stay out to 2 or 3 in the morning. And when I said I wasn't comfortable with that because I wasn't comfortable with the drinking, wanted to be slipped in your drink, I really didn't believe in the use of alcohol back then. Between then and now, I became an alcoholic, and I mean that stopped. But at that time, I didn't want nothing to do with it. And there was you can't control me. You can't tell me what to do. I have rights. But when I wanted to do something, and it was this feminist thing of what a woman can do, this and that, the way, and again, the evil man. What the man wants to do, just everything about a man is evil, but yet you're doing something way worse than me. You're doing something way worse than me. And I know lots of men and women that go through this. And lots of them that go through this. It didn't stop there because there were several girls I dated after I got divorced, would pull the same shit on me. And every one of them cheated. So I'm not here to, rant about my life, but I'm here to say, and none of them are happier. I mean, now that I'm older, this is all shit like 20 years ago. I can look back. None of us are happier from this. This is what I'm saying. This is a lie they're teaching us. To be a hoe is empowering. Are you sure? Because you're not happy. You lost a great guy. And you're going to 3 or 4 other guys.
You're getting used.
You're getting used. And the thing is, you're not around real men. So I'm knocking women here, but now I'm going to also knock on men. You're going to a club, getting drunk with a drunk guy.
You're a grown man.
And this is what you're meeting is these guys that are, probably can't unplug a toilet. Probably still live with mom and dad. You don't know this guy. I guess he's got good abs.
Yeah, good
abs. And again,
you're
you're not happier. You're not happier getting your way. So that's what I want to rant on with women, because I think women are starting to get tired of the narrative, because a lot more women are starting to come out and they're being tired of being told it's not a big deal if you have a family. There's something wrong with them if you want to call them a mother. You can't call them a mother anymore. You have to say birthing person.
Why?
Because that's what you're supposed to do. Because the other people they feel left out.
You're bullying
the trans women.
Yeah, see, and that brings me full circle back to my teacher I talked about earlier. It gave me a bad grade because I wrote a paper on the bond between women and their children. How that's something there's no bond stronger than that between a woman and her child. And this guy didn't like that because he would never feel those feelings I was talking about.
They're trying to demonize the family. And they've done it by making men sissies. You can't say anything to a woman if she comes in half naked or not. Can't. I know it pisses off a lot of people, but we're not seeing this improving the country right now.
No, not one bit.
And I mean, it goes both ways. There's stuff women do that they need to tell us men, and women can't do that anymore because they're too busy being immature. It goes both ways. If someone says, wants to argue that, but I think they wanted to tear down the family, get them divorced, have these young girls and young men tossed between homes. This is what life is.
Oh, yeah. Well, and men,
you're empowered if you're a hoe. We're totally turned down everything, and now I can't call you a girl.
No,
I cannot call you a girl. I can't call you female. We have to have. What's your pronouns?
Hershey.
Her. She.
Yeah, chocolate.
Hawaiian
punch. No, get it now.
God, this is a lame episode.
No, but too, as a guy, you have to be feminine now. You can't be macho.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
Masculinity.
Right. Like you want a guy.
You know what that is?
It's guys that are macho. It's toxic now.
Well, okay. Why? See, I can identify toxic Oh, God. I can't talk.
Toxic masculinity.
Thank you. My throat is dry. I'm looking for a drink, man. Shit. There's got to be something around here. But like, if you're a man and you like to fight in the ring and you're just a little assertive,
Toxic.
Yep.
Why is that toxic?
Because they call it that.
Why?
Because they're trying to.
Because again, that's another thing that I think women are tired of. I think women are tired of, like, if you go for a guy like that, everyone around him is like, this guy's an asshole, and you're like, why? I like being a tiny little feminine thing with
delicate flower
with a macho guy. Yeah. Some women like that.
They're trying to cut the balls off of men. That's what they've done.
Like, there's difference between like being like masculine and toxic, I guess, and whatnot, than actually being like toxic and abusive. There's like,
difference.
They're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, masculinity and douchebag aren't the same thing.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, because there are some douchebags out there. There's a lot of douchebags out there, especially if you're going to the club.
Yeah.
If you're an adult male in the club, there's a good chance you might be a douche.
They dress like they put on that. I'm trying to clean my mouth, but they put on that cologne. You walk by them and there's all that mousse in the hair, and they have that shiny button-up shirt, and you're
like, who are you trying to fool?
It smells with that cologne, and they're grinding up on the girls, and some women are like, oh yeah, baby, they're free. Well, yeah, monkeypox.
Yeah, that's how you get monkeypox, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
I got 3 daughters, and I always tell them, don't accept a drink from somebody at a club. Get it yourself, open it yourself. Otherwise,
don't set it down.
Yeah, don't set it down.
Well, they have these things. My daughter it's like the
condom cup.
Yes, the condom cup thing. You put it over your cup to where they can't.
Yeah, the straw goes in the center, and it goes over your plastic cup. Yeah, and then it fits like a scrunchie.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know about it.
Sorry.
But that helps protect women, from the douchebags in clubs.
Yeah.
The toxic masculinity.
You always watch the bartender pour your drink too. You never look away because it's like you never know what bartender. That's what I mean. You never know if the bartender's
You guys are giving tips, okay? And this is coming from a fight trainer that I've always had a problem with people. I'm the most judgmental prick on the planet. I really am. And when people come up and don't like something I say, I'm like, I got through to you. I am a little bit of a douchebag. When we're talking, I'm a little insulted. I'm a little hurt. As I am a little bit of a douchebag.
Yeah.
But I have to say, are you listening to yourself? And I don't mean this towards you, but there's women because I also teach women self-defense.
Correct.
And they talk like this. You're going to a place of sexuality. Let's just be honest. Anyone says that's not what it's about, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cuss anymore. But go get a dildo and deal yourself, because it is a place of sexuality, it is a place of strangers and a lot of young guys that still don't know how to handle women. Why are people putting themselves in that situation? Why?
Because they're dumb and desperate.
Because society says it's fun. Their friends are going. You got to go too.
To fit in.
Yeah,
I've never fit in, so that's why. I've always been a reject.
Well, I told my wife that once. She's like, we should go to a club. And I was like, why? I've already got you. I was dead serious. I was like, why do I need to go out and get laid? I've already got a wife. Why would I go out and find? And that's the only reason you go to a club is to get laid, right? I mean, they say it's for dancing.
They say, "Oh, I like to go dancing." No, that's not
bullshit.
True.
You're out there to get laid. That's the only reason you're going to listen to that shitty music, in that shitty place, where you could possibly be drugged. So that was what I said. Yeah, there's no need for me to go to a club. That and I'm probably too old to get in. But mostly, if you got a girl, what the hell do you need to go to a club for? Honestly. And unless you're trying to get rid of that girl, I guess you take your wife to a club if you're out shopping for a new one. That would work. If you're part of that douchebag thing I was talking about.
But it's a good thing you're not a douchebag.
No, that's why I can't go to the club.
So if a wife listens to this, you are not a douchebag.
Not a douchebag.
I am not douchey
collecting.
enough. I'm just sorry. #, sorry, not sorry.
That was lame.
That's the lame episode.
I mean, what do you think? You're a woman.
What?
How do you
About
feel about
what?
these narratives? Or does it go over your head?
What?
To be happy, you need to have more than one lover. You need to sleep around. You need to be liberated.
You have to be sexual to be liberated.
Let me ask you something. If a man was to talk to you and concerned about you staying out till 3:00 in the morning, he's legitimately concerned because he loves you. You're tiny. You're just precious to him, and he's trying to have a mature life and start having something special. Do you consider that someone controlling you and telling you what to do, or how do you see that?
No, I don't see it as controlling. I see it as somebody caring about what happens to you. So.
What about when your ass hangs out?
No, because it's like that's just showing respect. Then it's like if they don't like it, then you shouldn't do it. It's just showing respect to each other, especially if you talk about it. I mean, yeah, if they start yelling at you and screaming at you, it's like, okay, can we have a normal conversation? Like, don't scream in my face about it.
But if you're screaming at you, it's probably because you got with a douchebag.
Correct. But that's what I mean. But if you're just having a normal conversation about it, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't wear that to where we're going. That's like, oh, yeah, let me go rethink my outfit real quick.
We're going to church. Put that ass back in.
Yeah, the shorts are too short.
We're going to Applebee's, okay? That's not appropriate. We'll hit the club after.
I don't know. I don't see it as overprotective.
Because I really think a lot of women are lost right now. I see it in my business. I mean, I cannot believe how many women, and I know a lot of them probably be pissed off at me. What do you mean? And I'm like, I listen to their conversations. Their life is just starting, and you're starting off rough, man.
Starting out in the club.
You're starting, they come from broken homes, and I think they're working on breaking themselves and breaking their homes. And I think this is what they want. They want us dumbed down. They want our homes broken. They want women to give away their vagina freely. They want men as sissies. They don't want to say man or woman anymore. They want to break down education and home, and they're destroying music. And they are. Let's just be honest. That's where I'm coming from tonight with all this. You can't defend someone like Kyle Rittenhouse. You have to let the criminals out. You really can't listen to a man with common sense. I'm sorry. If he has common sense, you shouldn't listen to him. So you should go to the club.
Yeah.
And cheat on your wife.
With the Asians. With the Asians at the club.
Yeah, collecting Asians now.
Oh, they're small enough.
They're small enough you can collect.
Put them on the shelf.
Yeah.
Dress them up every day. No.
The porcelain dolls.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have.
Yeah, and that was a good rant.
For my rant.
Oh, I liked it. It was good, but I'm with you too on the music. I was thinking about that. I actually asked Google today, why does today's music suck so bad?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I did. It?
Yeah, I Googled it. You know what Google told me?
What?
They said a lot of it was the production. Like in the old days, the old music, you'd have varying volume levels. Your verse may have been lower than the chorus. like all your different things.
Oh yeah, the technology to record with now is so.
It was the same as like a rap song. The beat that they would have would change when they were starting to do their hook. Nowadays, it's the same simple beat through the whole thing, and all the volume is the same on it. It's horrible.
Why does music suck?
Yes.
I found this on the web.
Yes, you did. Yeah, no.
I was trying.
I say that sometimes. I got to ask questions, to find out, because it's true.
Are women tired of being hoes?
I don't know how to respond to that.
See?
That sounds like Alexa.
They're dumbing us down, man.
We could have a whole episode of just asking our phone things.
Yeah. Are you stupid?
That's not nice.
See? That's just...
See, I asked Alexa
Being
that.
oversensitive.
I was like, do you work for China? Just shut down.
Do you work for China?
Oh, Captain. My Captain. You're steering this ship, then.
Captain something wrong. Yeah.
I feel like that's a sarcastic answer from that bastard.
Yeah, she just fucking did that.
She's messing with me. It's okay. I know who really runs the ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Captain,
avoiding the question. You
Captain.
can't even debate with a smartphone anymore. That's what I'm saying, people.
Right. It's the world we live in now. Just how it is.
Well, that is
Yeah,
it
that-
for this episode
Well, that was
of
fun.
Sideshow America.
Yeah.
I ask you guys to like, comment, even if you just want to say, hey, cool, whatever. Share. It puts us in the algorithm. Plus, the reason why I'm saying share is I believe we're shadow banned.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I first started this, I got like 200 to 300 views. Now we get like 5 to 9.
Yeah, I have to send the link to people.
Yeah, and even when I search for my own stuff,
Oh, I can't
doesn't
find
always-
it.
yeah, it
when I
doesn't
search on
pop up.
YouTube, I can't find
Well,
it.
it took me a while just to find it on the subscriptions.
yeah. So it's because we talk about stuff that they don't-
Controversial stuff that is possibly true.
It's just we have trigger words. That's what it is. We say vaccine. Whoops, there we go. We got rinked down.
You say vaccine.
Biden rinked down.
FBI.
Trump bound. The bam. Asian. Hashtag Asian hate. Oh, there we go. Lost. Black people beating up Asians. Oh, look at that. We just there we go. There goes our million views right
Beetlejuice.
Anyways, tune in again to Sideshow America. Did I make my point about women?
I think you got the
did
point
did
clear
I think
there.
so.
Are you sure?
I
Oh
don't
man.
know.
I believe it.
Maybe
you
not.
guys have a good night.